This is the book of Salakia. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and it reads. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it reads, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Verse 2, "Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." Verse 3, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kadash Bakatham. I want to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations with whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. So this is the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Shah. I was watching a brother video. I can't remember what his channel is. I know it's a brother from, I think it's GMS Yorkshire, you know, and he was going to talking about America falling and whatnot. And, basically, based on that, he brought out this article, and, you know, it just was spiritual because I had this book called Are We Wrong? And it's based on how America has a lot of similarities like the ancient Roman Empire. That's why, you know, in the scriptures, when the elders break down that America is the revised Roman Empire, you know, spiritually, that, you know, actually is absolutely true. So he had like an article he went into, so I found the article, but I came across an article on my Newsbreak app, and that's what prompted through the Spirit this lesson. So, you know, this place is done for, and if you can't see that, that means the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not really dealing with you. You know, for those that have the spiritual eye salve that are actually awake, you know, because you could know truth but not be awake to the truth. You know what I mean? To be fully awake, and you a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, you may be aware of this government is plotting against you, the so-called citizen, but at the same time, if you're not aware that you are, you don't know who you are, then you're not fully awake. You know, going back to Ezekiel chapter 37, in the Valley of the Dry Bones. If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, and you're not aware that you are of, you know, one of those tribes, you know, you are Yasharallah, he Prince Power, a son of Israel, then, you know, you are not awake. So, you know, and what it's a motto in America. The American dream is home ownership, you know, to have a piece of the American pie. That's, you know, a good job, raise a family, own a home. But, you know, what is that statement that the guy Klaus Schwab said? He said, you will own nothing and be happy. And, you know, although people don't want to believe it, it doesn't matter if you don't want to believe. You know, the book of Romans chapter 3 talks about, does it matter that some did not believe? To make the, man, some shit, I got to get it. Because I'm butchering it, and I don't want to butcher it, so where is it at? So much going on, Salakia. Where's my Bible at? I have a Bible app that I don't see. There we go. Romans chapter 3. I'm not trying to make this extremely long, but, you know, sometimes you can't just quote scriptures, you got to go to them. You know, people use scriptures out of context and whatnot, like these wacky-tacky Christians. Romans 3 and verse 3, and it reads, For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua without effect? So basically it's breaking down, so what if you don't believe what's written thereof? Does it mean that it's not going to come to pass? And then verse 4 says, Yahweh forbid, yea, let Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. The point was, like I said, just because you don't believe, it doesn't mean it's not going to come to pass. You know, in the book of what's that, Isaiah chapter 46, talk about declaring the end from the beginning. All these things that were written, you know, the Bible is a living book. It's a living book because the things written thereof or within have actually come to pass. And that's why everyone is so amazed at this book. And it make a lot of sense because, you know, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, some Indians, West Indians, and Haitians are amazing people when you go into, you know, how they could take nothing and create something. Just how all these odds, how Esau set up this system against them, and yet still, you know, they thrive. And that's all through the grace and power and love and compassion of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we are blessed through all things, you know. But, you know, the Most High is so cold, he literally had our enemy take care of us. You know what I mean? You know, I was listening to the elder brother Amawan Gabar. He was saying the Most High is so powerful, he created an enemy to hate so he can destroy. And I never took the time to think about that, and that's how deep it is. But I'm jumping around. This place is done, you know, and that's why, you know, you seeing all these things come out about this place, you know, with the whole Ukraine. They're involved with the Ukraine situation, and you got citizens up there wondering how the fuck can you help take care of that and fund that war with Russia, but you got people here that's struggling and taking a beating. You know, inflation is kicking everybody's ass, but they haven't made mention of any stimulus. They coming up with ways to try to get money and more money from you. You know, so you about to really realize how free you're not. But I'm gonna bring out a little bit of this article. Well, I'm gonna bring out Revelation chapter 14, because Revelation 14 and verse 8 reads, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Because basically, this is the place that pushes that spirit of do as thou wilt. You know, I was listening to the brother, I think it was the brother Itazawam from Men of Valor, and he was talking about how, you know, those Ish people are basically pushing all these different nations to go onto Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai, I believe it's Mount Sinai, and basically make a covenant as far as for climate change. So they're not, you know, basically making a covenant to basically come back to the law, statutes, and rule the world in righteousness when they can come back to the law, statutes, commandments, because they're in the other nations. What I mean is they could, being that the whole world is aware of this, the Bible, our book, and, you know, they're not trying to make a covenant to rule the earth by the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, but basically they're going to come with a covenant of how they feel that they can put and implement and do all these different things to affect climate change. When the Lord, you know, the Lord code, Yahweh Shem Yahshua's code. So, you know, this place is falling, and you'll see that with this, you know, with this article. It reads, some home buyers lose deposits of $10,000, $20,000 or more due to high mortgage rates. This is out of WEKU, and it reads, Hanara Lopez and her husband Paulo Every run a food truck outside of Orlando. We work together every day, she says, while cooking up Colombian sausages on the truck's big stainless steel grill. They say by putting in long hours over several years, they were able to save up a down payment for a house. We think that renting's like we are wasting money, you know, says Lopez. So we want to buy a house to have something that we can say is mine. Late last year, they signed a contract to buy a new home before it was built for about $500,000 and put down a $25,000 deposit. But since then, mortgage rates have seen their biggest increase in 40 years, from 3% to around 7%. Pandemic delays have resulted in many new homes taking a year or longer to get built. So now it's much harder for thousands of people like Every and Lopez to be able to afford the new homes they agreed to buy. In their case, the higher rates would add about 1,100 a month to their mortgage payments, and that's going to affect everybody. Right now, my lease is about to be up, and although my rent when I initially got the place was a certain amount, but I'm not under any illusion that the rent won't go up. I've watched, because I deal with a place through a management company. From what I hear, they have a certain amount of properties, but it's one owner. So there's some kind of big big a person that got a lot of money, and basically throughout this situation, I've only been there almost a year. They've tried to basically sell the property a couple of times, and it's fallen through twice. Because basically the guy that was going to sell it or buy it, he was going to have a whole nother management team come, or a property management team come and take over, managing of the property. But the company that I originally signed up with is still the management team, so that means that fell through. So you know what I mean. But I was looking at, they had a list of properties, and a lot of the properties were a lot cheaper. Now everything is 700, 800 and better. And these ain't, big properties. These is 2-3 bedrooms. Like a year ago, you could find a 3-bedroom for, maybe not in the best neighborhood, but a 3-bedroom for maybe, 550, 600. Now most properties are 700, and unless you get like Section 8 or something like that, where the government is subsidizing or helping you with your rent. Yeah, so we looking at difficult times, just like the book of Ezekiel talks about, bad times, and that's going to affect everybody. That's why it talks about the hour of temptation. The couple has been very scared that they won't qualify for a mortgage anymore and will lose that big deposit, and that's the truth. Because the simple fact is, the banks are restructuring everything because of the highest inflation. So in order to be able to just turn a dollar, you gonna have to have pretty good credit. I follow some of these financial analysts, and basically, like I said, this is basically, this system fall, because once you can't buy a home, what are you working for? And 25,000 isn't a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money. That's more than some people making a whole year. It says the sales guy, always tells us we're going to lose the deposit if we don't buy the house. But they can't afford the house. Ek Every said when the couple first spoke to NPR, even the area sales manager, she told me too that we're going to lose our money. Some people have already lost their money. Karen Jenkins works as a school nurse at an elementary school in Tigard, or she and her husband wanted a bigger house for them and their 3 kids. We put just a little over $15,000 of deposit, she says, but after interest rates jumped so much higher, they decided to back out of buying it, and she says the builder kept their deposit because they've been getting a home built from the ground up. You know what I mean? But see, this economy has changed everything. So, and this is gonna bring a lot of stress and a lot of violence. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can't and that's how them contracts set up. Because this is not like a home where you literally building a existing, or you trying to buy an existing home. They're building a home from the ground up. So you know what I mean? For them to even work on that, you had to put money down. But like I said, being that everything is right because of these interest rates, and that go into, Revelation 6, Habakkuk, you know what I mean? Like, because of the money, and the inflation, you know what I mean? Damn, I didn't mean to do it. Because of the money being inflated, it's basically affecting everybody. So, you know what I mean? And that's a sure sign of this place being going down. So I just want to bring out this article that the brother mentioned. I didn't get his name, but the main point I wanted is because he said it's a number of reasons, but the main reason that basically it affected Rome, the ancient Roman system, and what's currently happening to Babylon the Great, aka the modern day Rome, aka America, is the currency being inflated. It says currency debasement. When Emperor Nero faced serious economic issues, he decided to debase the currency. Nero reduced the purity of Roman coins by decreasing the amount of precious metals in them. He did this gradually, expecting that the coins would still be accepted for their nominal value, but the reduction in purity became noted, followed by inflation. The coin debasement became the tendency followed by subsequent rulers. The denarius, the most common Roman coin in circulation, had an average silver content of 91.8% during the time of Nero, 76.2% during Marcus Aurelius, and 58.3% by the time of Emperor Septimius Severus. And Marcus Aurelius and Septimius Severus were both Jakes. You know what I mean? Nero was an Edomite. I think Nero. I forgot. Nero is mentioned in the book of Acts, I believe. No, that's Claudius. I forgot where Nero's mentioned at. But Nero basically persecuted the Jews. Say that he basically, if I'm not mistaken, that he burnt down part of Rome, or he burnt down part of the Roman Empire, and then he blamed it on the Jews to be able to persecute them. But with that being said, that's just the same thing happening today with this dollar. Because they printed all this money due to stimulus to stimulate the economy, it affects the value of the money today. So again, this place is dead in the water for real. So I was gonna get Isaiah chapter 19, but I'm not. I could get this place has served its purpose. When you go into Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 8, it reads, this place was a golden cup. I think it's Jeremiah 51. Salakia. Jeremiah 51 and verse. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And I just brought that out. What was that in? I brought that out. I think in Isaiah 47. Because the cup is the philosophy. This way of living, this way, these philosophies of do as thou wilt, and how the democracy, the system, this money system, all of this that these red Hebrew Edomite has pushed across the earth, and these people have drank and partook in, has basically, because this inflation that's affecting the American dollar is affecting other countries' money as well. It's actually ingenious how the Lord had it set up. It allowed Babylon to be put in a position where, the American dollar became the petrodollar, and, the world reserve currency. And based on that dollar, it's going to affect everybody else's currency. If our money is being inflated, our money is still more valuable than some of these other countries' money. That's why, the UK, people are taking a beating. In some of these other countries, they're taking a real big beating. So yeah, the Lord used this place to basically bring, to basically for prophecy's sake, because when this dollar crashes, they're going to have to come up with a new system. And we all know, which is that, that digital, I was just listening to the brother, elder brother Mwatazak from LA, Ancient of Days, whose channel is GMS Rock Solid Foundation 3, and he was talking about it's like 54 nations that's basically currencies, their monetary currencies are in jeopardy. So the World Bank and all these different, these monetary monetary agencies have to come up with some kind of solution, which will be the digital chip. So, and like I said again, when you see that you can't even buy a home, what are you working for? What we already, when you really realize and you understand that although you got a job, you have the illusion of freedom. Especially like Jake, that, we have these low paying jobs, and we not living, we just surviving, you know what I mean? And we keeping the wealthy in this fucked up place, Babylon the Great, rich. But if you can't even have own home ownership, or, you can't even, what did that's going to make people really spaz the fuck out. But then Carl Schwab said, you going to owe nothing to be. He's the book of Revelation, chapter 18. Based on all this, Eventually, that's why this scripture is going to come to pass. I'm going to end with this. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 21, and it reads, "And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down." Another mention of this place falling, being destroyed, and shall be found no more at all. So with what's coming, you know what I mean, with these people, everybody is struggling more and more to just survive. Great violence is gonna come with that, and this place was gotten by blood, and it's gonna go out by bloodshed. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, shalom.